Actually, I'm lucky that I attended this symposium because next Sunday with my youth at Buzaniro we are supposed to be having a meeting. So the first hand information that I will give will be what I got from this symposium. And one, we are going to improve on our methods of work. My name is Muhereiza Innocent. I come from Buzaniro village, Buzaniro ward, Ruhija town council in Uganda district. I came all the way from that side as a PELAS chairperson representing Uganda district. I came, one, to represent a group of members whom I left behind, and mostly the youth whom I work with, who are my fellow members in the Buzaniro group. I came to represent them to attend this program of Good Leisure Farm, where we were to attend a running exercise, and in particular on how to grow maize as a cereal crop. And we have learned a number of things in respect to maize, which I hope to implement and disseminate the information to my fellow youth the moment I live here. I have actually learned a number of things, but be specific. One, I've learned that before you plant any cereal crop, you need to first look at the type of breed that you're going to plant. Two, if you're going to select a breed, where are you going to plant the exact breed that you have selected? So that will come in line with area where the land is, where you're going to plant. Two, you also need to look at the temperature or the climatic changes and the soil that is within the area or the region where you're going to plant such a cereal crop. Before you do a seed selection, you do what they call sampling. And how do you sample? For instance, we were told that when you're going to grow maize, what you need to first do is to get, for instance, 2 kilograms of maize packed, then you select. Once you select, you get 100 seeds, and then you put in a plate. After putting in a plate, you get cotton, you place it there, then you get cotton, you also cover it, and then you start sprinkling water for about 2 to 4 days. In doing so, you're trying to make sure that you get exactly whether the seed will germinate. So, after sprinkling water and you come back to check after 5 days, you'll find that either the seeds you put, maybe they have germinated to 90%, or they have not germinated to 90%. So if they have germinated maybe above 90%, and then you realize that that is a good selection, you can go ahead and plant such a cereal crop. If we find that the percentage is below, maybe the number of seeds that germinated will be below 50 or 70, then automatically you would not recommend such a cereal crop to be grown because it would be of poor quality. Yes, from the symposium, one, I've learned that we the youth in the rural areas, we do not have the message or we do not have the information on actually how we need to grow such crops. So from the symposium, especially from the Naro department, from the presenter who presented from Naro, he actually presented, and from his presentation, I picked a number of things. That one, when you plant a cereal crop this season, next season, plan to do some crop rotation, because some soils lose fertility very fast, to the extent that the moment you bring a cereal crop, you put it continuously for 2 seasons. At the end of the day, you like the last season, you likely not pick anything. So it is better plant 1 season, change to another piece of land, and then by the time you come back to the land, maybe some fertility will have been gained, and you can then replant back. 2, I've also learned that with the cereals that we do plant, while choosing the seeds to plant, we also need to make sure that we see whether the cereals we are going to plant are actually resistant to pests and diseases, because some of the cereals get more attracted to pests and diseases. So I also learned that we are also supposed to have a look at that before we go into the agriculture. At our village level, we're just growing cereals without even first measuring the type of soil that we are going to use. 2, we're just not minding about how many kilograms of maize we should be planting in an acreage of land. So I have also learned this from here. I have also learned that we can actually plant without tampering with the environment. So that was agriculture smart. What we would do, we would just plant the crops, but not minding that while we are planting, we are also supposed to conserve the environment. So I have learned that as we plant, we are supposed to plant, but in planting, we also make sure that we are planting some more trees so that we also conserve the environment. Actually, I'm lucky that I attended this symposium, because next Sunday, with my youth at Buzaniro, we are supposed to be having a meeting. So the first-hand information that I will give will be what I got from this symposium. And 1, we are going to improve on our methods of work. 2, we are also going to make sure that as we plant season by season. We don't just plant when it is not season. For instance, in our area in Uganda, being near the forest, we experience a lot of rainfall. So we must ensure now that we target that when we are going to plant, we make sure that our cereals shall not be affected by rainfall. So that is 1, because our crops are always at times damaged by the rainfall, the heavy rains across that side. I also need to now disseminate the information to the youth whom I represent, that actually what we have been doing, we can now improvise and add some more value and then get production that is to the maximum. 1, I would like to thank Leisure Farm for giving us an opportunity to learn. Very few people can give you such an opportunity to learn. So 1, I recommend that Leisure Farm keeps on the work, keeps on teaching the youth, and we are really grateful and thankful to them. And we promise that we shall also support them as they also support us. We are ready to work with them. And for the youth, we need to make sure that we now develop our skills and we do a hands-on experience. We put aside the theoretical part. Let's get what we have learned in the theoretical part and we put it to the practical part of it. Thank you.